Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIII, Zodiac Brave story on the MysteriousJG. And last time I said we were either going to talk to some Vieira woman and then do the plot, or we were going to do the plot. Well, thanks to this website that I've been teasing about how it's got a lot of placeholder text for games that have been out for many years, they did in fact tell me where to go to find this lady, and here she is, Vieira. So Vieira is her name, not her species. I don't remember what the species is called. But here she is, and as you can see, her species doesn't wear a lot of clothes.
Hello, I am called Kitchen. I left my home and came to Rabanastar only quite recently. I have yet to learn my way around. I had been hoping to find someone I might speak with. Should you like to talk again, it would please me greatly. Is the city not wonderful? I still lose my way on occasion, but I have come to know some of her walks and alleyways.
Oh, hold on. I'm supposed to... Hold on, let's use the FAQ. Or walkthrough. I don't know how useful it is, or reliable it is. But you get plus points for one, and minus points for another. And if you get all the plus points, you are rewarded eventually with the Platinum Sword. If you get all the minus points, you get a fuzzy miter. You can also get a crossbow if you only get some minus points or plus points. You get a firefly for all the minus points. I think a firefly is the thing that gives you no experience. So I don't know why you'd want that. I would think a platinum sword is the better reward. Yeah, I would think the Platinum Sword is the best reward. So we want the plus answers. And our answer to this question is going to be, yes, you should be ashamed. It seems mean.
But the land, I cannot hear it. Should this not trouble me as a Vieira?
Yes, you should be ashamed. No, don't be silly. See, my instinct would be to say, don't be silly. But no, we need to shame her.
I see, then perhaps it was a mistake to leave the wood. Pay no mind to my mutterings. Pray, speak with me again soon. I sometimes lose my way, but for the most part I can find what I must. Not that I have any place to be particularly.
Alright, so maybe between videos I need to double check and make sure the fuzzy miter isn't awesome. But it looks like if you get all the negative answers, like the minus points answers, unless the FAQ has done something wrong, and I'll have to read the questions and the answers and see if they're all pointing in the same direction, but it seems like we're going down the path of shaming her for having come to the city and not being with her own people, who we'll learn a little bit more about later. Whatever. Firefly, I think, is the accessory. Oh, wow, he doesn't have an accessory equipped. Yeah, we already have a Firefly, so I certainly don't want to bother to get another one of these. Because it gives you a minor boost to strength and magic power, but reduces experience gain to 0, which seems like it could be useful in some very specific situations, like if you're getting ready to face a boss who has like level 5 death or something like that, and you're at level like 49, maybe you're going to equip this. Otherwise, I don't know that you'd want to use that. But the old Argyle Armlet, T. You know what? I'm getting rid of this Gladius. It keeps screwing us over. Although it triples his attack power almost. Just about. I guess I just gotta be paying attention to, like, if an enemy is taking an unusually long time to kill, I gotta pay attention to whether it's absorbing that element. So, I mean, we could just roleplay with this lady and answer questions in a way that makes sense, but why not? As long as that FAQ is sitting there telling us how to answer, why not shoot for a specific outcome? Anyway, if I can find one of those Moogle teleport assholes, here we go. Let's go for the Moogling. Sorry, Mookie Mog. We're actually going to teleport to the aerodrome and get the story going. The game is that lazy. It lets you teleport distances of 1 or 2 screens. And now, for the first time ever, because this had always been read before, we can actually Go ahead. And now we've got Fran chillaxing.
Baltier is waiting inside. If you've made ready, we can leave at once. He feels responsible for what has happened to your friend. Do not think he is in the habit of doing favors. Me, for example, even on my birthday, he won't... Well, never mind. He says it's unsanitary.
See, you're like a character model that I haven't seen before, and I feel like I should talk to you, and no. It's not going to happen. Bujerban, you have come to book passage on any ship, friend. You can pay your fare at any of the counters you see here. Each counter serves a different destination, so it's as simple as finding the counter of the city you would like to visit, you see. If a given counter is empty, that route is not currently in service. Be it the maintenance or what have you, and you will need to wait. Okay. You're trying to make it make sense in-game, but it's still bullshit. Flights to Albina.
Good day, sir. This counter serves passengers wishing to book their travel to Albina. We have ships fitted with shops, amenities, or if you prefer to sleep during your journey, ships with only private cabins. Whichever you choose, the price is the same. We will show you aboard as soon as you've purchased your ticket. Patches of 200 gil.
Nope, because we actually get to fly with Balthier this time, but I think later we can do this. We probably want to eventually fly that way. There's no map in here.
You can book two kinds of passage on the airship. The first lets you take your time shopping and conversing during your journey. The second lets you sleep the whole way, which can be nice if you don't want to deal with any distractions.
In other words, one of them is fast travel. Aww. I know you need to go. Just hold me a little longer. I've never felt more sad, more lonely. But it's so far away. Actually, you can walk there in a couple of minutes. I know you're going there to work, but I don't care. We could be happy here, just being together. Is that only one dialogue? Because it's two people. So it seems like the man is leaving. Or the man is the one staying behind. That, or I cannot figure out how to talk to... Okay, it is just one. I keep thinking like the little mouth, like happy face. When I see the happy face, while I also have an X prompt, I'm thinking that like there's two people. But I mean, there are two people, but there's only one bit of dialogue.
We have our own airship. I don't see why we have to travel on a public ship. It's so slow and crowded.
What's this? We booked the flightest quarters of the ship. Besides, I enjoyed the thrill of traveling with the small folk. Someday you'll understand. That's right, Mother. Father wouldn't change that about you for the world. Okay. So they're rich, but they like traveling and luxurious quarters on a public ship so they can look down on regular folks. Hey, it's Docent.
Welcome to the aerodrome, sir. I know I'm a woman, but I got this voice anyway. The evilest company proudly offers passage aboard Legion craft, which you might shop and enjoy your flight.
Oh, so she's explaining the same thing that that other guy already explained. Wish to ride in the airships in safety and comfort. Do not. The Docent here can be most helpful in that regard. I'm headed to Bajir, to lay in some new goods. But I plan to see the sights while I'm there. They have guides at every corner and by road. So Bujerba, I believe you'd have to fly to. You can't reach it on the ground in this game. And you'll see it later, and it'll make some sense. But Nalbina, like, aren't these people... He was heading for Nalbina, I thought. Nalbina's, like... It's, like, right there. Oh, well... Okay, my controller just disconnected. Great timing on that. This vague notion that I should get a fresh controller before I started the video, but I thought I had plenty of time. I was wrong. Alright, well, I'll just let you enjoy that bit of text for a little bit longer. And I'll need to remember between videos to get another one charging up. I'm burning through these controller batteries. Yeah, this is Nalbina. Bujerba's far away, but Nalbina, whatever. That's like, seriously...
owl beast. I'm just staring out the window. Don't talk to me. I'm only here for background. I'm an owl beast. I'm just staring at some woman. Don't talk to me.
Hi, we're hell beasts.
See that man standing in the waiting lounge? I think that's the Balthier, one of the most notorious sky pirates in Evilise. They say he's a brilliant pilot. You know, he's difficult to predict, but he's one hell of a pilot. That he's so brave he barely pays notice to the Imperials and headhunters chasing him. That's not all he's famous for, but the rest will have to wait until you're older. That's right, he's famous for being one of the most premature of all premature ejaculators. Yeah, I see you there, buddy. We'll talk to you in a minute. Try to hold on. I know it's not easy for you, you're premature ejaculator. The game threw this, like, they're obviously trying to set up that he's this ladies' man, so I was trying to disarm that, but it got gross. This is the last time I travel on a whim. I've never been anywhere more boring in my life. I can't wait to go home and relax properly. So she doesn't like Rabbinaster? Okay. Bujerba is on the continent of Dorstonis, and the Magicite mine we're looking for is in Bujerba. If we're going to save the girl, we start there. You ready to leave? Tell me about Bujerba. Don't get out of Dalmasca much, do you? Bujerba is a small city-state that thrives in the export of particularly fine magicites. It's ruled by Marquis Ondor, who, by staying in the Empire's good graces, has managed to stave off Imperial invasion. Okay, let's go. You do realize that once we've left, you may not see Rabbinaster for a while. Once we leave, there'll be no looking back. I'm really ready. We'll have to save on a different slot, but we're ready. We make for the Lusu mines in Bujerba. Seems I took on more baggage in Rabbinaster than I'd planned. Well, let's save your girl and be done with it. Come on. I think if I traveled there now, it would be without Fran and Balthier in the party and would not continue the story. Whoa.
This is the Strahd.
Yeah, I've seen airships before in Final Fantasy games, I'm sorry.
She airship enough for you?
Well, it's less ridiculous than the one that Brother uses in FFX-2.
Well, the headhunters seem to think so. What's a good word? Is she ready?
Oh, the word is... Is that how they always
So
talk?
is she armed? How fast is she? Could she take the Ifrit?
I suppose I could tell you, but
I'd have to kill you.
wouldn't you rather see for yourself?
Yeah.
See, this is Van when he's excited.
Fran, our course.
The shortest way is over Dorstonis.
But there's only like 3 cities in the world, so we should know the course between each one.
Free as can be, for now. The Empire took notice when they announced the princess's unfortunate suicide and your untimely execution.
If it becomes known that I'm alive, the Marquis will lose their favor.
We try to steer clear of such things.
I try to avoid being executed.
Right, it's time to fly. And no wagging tongues or you'll like to bite them off.
What?
Well, I'm not even there. That seems premature. What are you, taking after Balthier?
So, anyway, no wagging tongues or they'll be bitten off. So apparently this ship is full of automatic tongue biters. It says something that I completely forgotten what the ship in this game looks like. It's tough to keep making neat, like, you know, this is something that the riff tracks of the Star Wars movies made fun of after a while. It's the prequels. It's tough to come up with neat new spaceship designs after a while. You know, I don't know that those massive shackles are necessary for the little girl with pigtails.
I have my brother. She eats well.
She doesn't get to use her hands, though.
See that she does. We need her alive. Balthier's bait must be fresh.
I keep trying to tell you. I barely even know who Balthier is.
I just heard about the premature ejaculation thing.
The Strahl, she sets sail. She makes straight for the sky city of Bhajerba.
Barely know, was it? Yet a Tracy goes bounding off for you. Tell me, how could that be?
That's what I'd like to know. I just met him that one time and that's
Does
it.
that tongue never stop?
Well, you asked me a
What if
direct
we
question.
Plucked it from your head. As for you, we need Balthier alive. His corpse fetches but half the bounty.
And don't even dare wag your tongues.
My specialty.
There's no fun for it if we can't tease out a scream or two.
Being a prisoner of hell monsters kind of sucks. Man, I didn't know how good I had it when we were making sunstones.
Balthier, my love. Come in, my love, dance so sweet for you. Yeah, I'm just thinking about Don Flamenco. I mean, I do that all the time, but... Oh, of course, a floating continent. You know, why wouldn't there be one of those? It's a fantasy game. I'm cool with it. I have a mild fear of heights. I don't know that I would be able to, like, live in this place, really. I think this would get to you all the time.
Easy.
No good.
They're
he's
easy
not
kills.
here. Keep searching. This way.
Be as loud as about it as
You're a
possible.
dead man. Don't forget it. And no names.
You're a dead
Of
man.
course.
Thank you.
You're a dead man. You're the Undertaker.
Dead man.
Alright, so... Guys just running right up to us. And if we talk to them... What are the Imperial Army? All our ships are grounded. Passengers are asked to wait until further notice. Understood. It's the city Parajana. Svagatam, traveler. Welcome to Bhajerba. We Parajana guides are appointed by the Marcus. I guess it's pronounced Marcus. Marcus himself to aid visitors to our fair city. Once you leave the aerodrome, you'll find yourself upon traffic away, the main thoroughfare of Bhajerba. Good journey, Badra. Okay, well, I'm glad you were appointed to tell us one thing. A generous helping of my countrymen out of the street today. Not such an odd sight in Arcades or our colonies. But wasn't Bhajerba neutral? I got a travel crystal so I can avoid all that, Oh, no, never mind. A strong mist prevents teleportation. Well... Eventually we will reach a point in the story where we allow... you know what, let's save over one of these slots I know I won't be reusing. So we're coming up on what will be one of the best dungeons for grinding, according to almost every FAQ and guide. Mostly because there's a whole bunch of screens where only one enemy type appears, so you can get good loots, and which basically means better gold from selling stuff. Otherwise, that's about it. But I'm hoping that I won't have to actually grind there because of the amount of high-speed grinding I did before. You're not a Bhajerban, you're a Moogle. Moogles can't be citizens. Are you some kind of anchor Moogle?
Bhajerban airships use lots of Moogle craft to fly so well. They are a good deal better than those heaps the Empire lurch about in Kupo.
And then some Imperial comes and stabs him.
Just goes to show it takes more than a guild to make the best ships in the sky, powered by the best Madicite to be had anywhere. Kupo, I guess.
There's lots of Moogle stuff here, Bhajerba Kupo. After all, it's Moogle craft that made this place what it is. Kupo.
We have our own airships. I don't see why we had to travel on a public ship. Yo, it's the same family having the same conversation. We're gonna have problems with the street kids. Ha! That was a shock. I was watching airships fly back and forth, and an Imperial grabbed me from behind. He was looking for someone, not me. So the Imperials are looking for us. That's the story here. Amba and Tata, they're so worried, I think. Why do we need so much luggage just to go on a trip to Rabanaster? Why am I talking to all these people? When exactly is my airship going to take off? Can't these provincials tell time? And an arrogant imperial citizen. Why can't our civilian craft not fly just because the Empire says so, Badra? I filed official complaint, but I fear nothing will come of it. So this place is technically independent of the Empire, but the Empire kind of pushes them around and they take it just to avoid being directly invaded. That is the backstory that we're picking up.
Oh no, I was shopping and I missed the flight for Abanastra, Kupo. Suppose I'll have to wait.
You don't seem that upset about it. Alright, well, that was a lot of nothing. I guess we got a little bit of extra background color on the Sky City, all one word, of Bujerba. The Sky City of Bujerba.
The Lusu mines are just up ahead. Though, I do hear there's not much left there these days.
You're on your way to the mines?
Yes, street urchin, who's very well dressed.
Then please allow me to accompany you. I have an errand to attend to there.
What manner of errand?
And who the hell are you?
What errand? I might ask the same of you.
Yeah, well, we're not inviting ourselves to come with you.
Right. Come on then.
What?
Excellent.
Do me a favor and stay where I can keep my eye on you. Should be less trouble that way.
For us both.
So what's your name?
Who's your daddy?
I'm Lamont.
Lamont's mighty servant.
Don't worry. I don't know what's in that mine, Lamont, but you're in good hands.
Oh, and I totally trust that you're giving us your real name. So this game, instead of using the Final Fantasy X approach, where the whole story is kind of structured around the fact that Titus doesn't know what's going on, and this will touch upon a little back and forth dialogue, not an argument per se, having, oh god, now I'm blank. I forget who I was talking to in the comments. I'm sorry. That's kind of vaguely disrespectful. But I was back and forth with one of my regular subscribers, who I'm drawing a blank on which one it was, about who the main character of the game is. In Final Fantasy X, he says, well, Titus is obviously the main character, and he's a viewpoint character, and we learn about the world as Titus does, and it's fairly obvious that is the case. In this game, rather than structuring the story so Van doesn't know about the world, Van doesn't know what's going on outside of his own little, he's like a street rat, basically, as old Dallin keeps telling us. And he doesn't know what's going on with politics. So we keep running into situations where Baltier, who is a famous sky pirate, and Bosch, who was part of the Royal Knights, it was fairly obvious here, although I'm beating it to, if you hadn't noticed now, I'm making it pretty obvious. Yeah, Lamont, hesitates for a second and then gives the name Lamont as though that's not his real name. And Baltier accepts him and kind of seems to know who he is. And Bosch seems kind of reticent to take this person on specifically. And Van goes and tries to make friends with him right away, and everyone else looks at him funny. Because there's something going on with this character, Lamont, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but Van, it's not that Van doesn't know, it's not like he has, he's brand new to this world. He just doesn't know what the fuck's going on. And Balthier and Bash have all this knowledge he doesn't have, and consistently refuse to share any of it with him. By the time we get it, Fran doesn't really do that so much, although it's hard to know for sure what Fran does and doesn't know of Baltier and his backstory. But then Penella will come into the party, and she and Van both don't know shit. And then the last member of the party who comes in also has tons of information that Van and Penella don't have. So that's kind of the way the story is going to work from this point forward. Now I'm like, oh shoot, is it time to call it a video? It might be pretty close. But yeah, we have a guest in our party, which in theory, you kind of want to find moments when there's a guest in your party to do things like fight marks, but I don't think we get to go back now, although there is a mark to be fought up here, I believe. And what was my broader point? Oh yeah, so my broader point was who's the main character of the story. We were going back and forth about that, and some people would say it's Baltier. Other people would say it is this last party member we haven't had yet, because both of them are actually more like positioned as the traditional hero of the story. Once you know what everyone's backstories is and you understand the forces that are at work in the broader story. But Van is pretty unarguably the character you've played through for the entire game and the way through which things are revealed. Even though at the end, the fact that the game never makes you play as Van again once you have more than 3 party members, which we have now. We never have to use Van in combat again, but throughout the rest of the story, he will always be hanging around, and that's why I consider him the main character. But yeah, this scene is a clear example of Van's like, hey, why would you just... He's kind of briefly like, hey, why would you accept this kid in our party? Never mind the fact that Baltier and Fran accepted Van for no particular reason while they were all wandering around and trying to steal stuff from the palace. They're just like, hey, kid, why don't you join up with us for no reason? Now they're doing the same thing for some other kid. But yeah, I guess what I'm getting at is Van doesn't know what's going on. So he's Lamont. Gambit-wise, he is pretty much set up as a healer, which is perfect, to tell you the truth. That's exactly what we need. I don't think we get to equip him anyway, right? Yeah, so who cares? But now that we have an extra character, I'm even more inclined, and we're part of the rear guard, I'm even more inclined to try to deal with this, the cry of its power. At the Coos Skygrounds. So he's a couple of screens away. No, he's actually on... No, he's 1 screen away. So yeah, we can actually go encounter this person and talk to them. And we really should do so while we have Lamont in our party. Hey, here's a Bujerban Seneca. I'm a Seneca. That's some made-up fantasy bullshit word. It doesn't mean anything, don't worry about it. You may see Imperials on our streets, Badra. Another made-up fantasy world, don't worry about that one either. But do not be alarmed. Bujerba is neutral. Our ports are open to all. Isn't there always some city that starts out in peace with the evil empire and then gets sacked by the evil empire during the course of the game in these games? Is it true where you come from that young boys love the sky? Oh, wait.
Is it true that where you come from, too, that young boys love the sky? My son, he wishes to become a pilot when he's older. Ha! A pilot! The lowest form of trash!
And we give the kid a little push, and he dies. Seriously, look at this kid. Like, if we angle the camera just right, you can see there's kind of a slight chance that he can catch himself before falling to his death, were he to be slightly startled and shift his weight forward very slightly. And Mom's like,
this is awesome. I got my back to it. I don't know if that makes me more or less likely to fall to my death.
I moved from Esther, you know. How startled I was to see the Imperials here on such good behavior, not like those cretins back home. Oh, these guys must have, like, posh English accents. The Imperials here. Bujerba is not great in size, but as our mines are rich in quality magicite, so our lives are rich. It is a good place to live. Did you know that the best magicite may be used in many applications? It's the most wonderful energy source. There is none greater. But you're relying on a mine that's almost worked out. You guys really need to start developing, like, a manufacturing base or something. Tell me, Badra, why is it you have come to Bujerba? No, do not tell me, for I already know. It is in your It is to see her architecture, yes. Many other travelers... Is this the class of guys who are tour guides, maybe? We just met one. I forgot what his title was. Many of the travelers who visit us to see her arches and promenades, each built to take the advantage of her most lofty position in the sky. No, the Parijanas are the tour guides. Swagatam, traveler. Welcome. I am a Parija, sort of guide. May I be of assistance? The way to the Lusu mines? Ha! That is difficult. There are many Imperial blockades. It is a long way, but go southward along this road. You'll find it most helpful to purchase a map at the cartographers. Of course, you may always ask a Parija way, so should you become lost. Good journey to you, Badra. If you become lost, ask a Parija the way. They will give you a predetermined piece of dialogue that may or may not address your actual question of where you're trying to go. You could always talk to the cartographer, who happens to be standing right there.
So the Imperials scurrying about insects they are. If I were the Marcus, I'd have given them the boot a long time ago, and have gotten us overtly invaded.
How are you enjoying our beautiful city, Kupo? Would you like to buy a map, Kupo?
I don't know if... I guess I like the fact that in this... There are multiple ethnic groups in this game. Fantasy ethnic groups. But, they don't have, like, their own... There's not a Moogle city and a city of those big pig guys and a city of those guys that Miguelo was one of them. They all intermix freely across all cities. Although I think when we get to the Empire, it might be all human there, just to show you that they're racist fucks. And I know that the bunny people, not the Moogles, the bunny lady people have their own town too. So we can buy a map of Bujerba, because it doesn't cost that much money, so why not?
A fine purchase, Kupo. You won't regret it, Moogle's honor.
So, I mean, we want to smell buy all the maps in the game. They're not that expensive. And, so now we can... Yeah, but how did I do this before? Okay. So we get into the mines. Oh, wait. Why? How? Wait, that's... I bought the map to the mines. How can I not switch to it? Yeah, whatever. Beyond this point is property of His Excellency the Marcus. I'm so sorry, but I must ask you to leave, Badra. Badra turns out to be a slang term for son of a bitch.
The estate of Marquis Andor is ahead from here. The Marquis' house is old as the royal family of Damascus. Did you know? Perhaps it is now the oldest surviving house in Ivalice.
Oh, hey, Wappets, or Protectives. Under the charter of His Excellency, we proudly offer such armors as might prove indispensable in having those having business in the mines. Well, let's hit the armor shop and then call it a video. Wow, he just phased out into existence there. Good job, Sainika. I guess they're soldiers. Oh, the Imperials were looking for someone a short while ago, but there are so few customers, they left quickly, Badra. Svagatam, travelers. The shop of armor is not a bad shop, but the master's a poor salesman. Aye, forget what I've said, yes. I only had one sentence to deliver, and I screwed it up.
Svagatam.
Svagatam, welcome. Armor's not arms, is what we sell. Battles take more than just a blade. So, this could be a quick way to spend a lot of money if I decide to buy 6 of everything, which I have a bad habit of doing just to make sure everyone can use whatever. I think maybe I'll buy 3 of everything. And the thought process being that probably about half the party will get to use heavy stuff and half will be using light stuff by the end. But it could be way wrong. Kill him a weave shirt. So yeah, it does seem kind of wasteful to buy stuff that might never get used, but and it's possible that by the time we find the rest of our party members and have all their licenses, we'll be using a whole other tier of gear. But I can always go back and sell stuff. So now I got 3 of everything they sell. Is there anything I have more than 6 of? I can immediately sell 1. Like the bronze armor. Oh boy, I didn't buy that here, did I? Don't think I did. I think these were rare drops from some enemies I was fighting in my off-screen grinding. And then again, anything that I've got over 3 or 10 of. Oh, sorry. Reading about characters yawning has now made me feel kind of yawny. Not yonic, yawny. Although I suppose yonic is the adjective form of yawny, so... Although I might be pronouncing that wrong. I don't think I am. Well, there you go. So we upgraded our gear slightly. For some reason, Bash and Balthier don't have their full mist levels, and I don't remember having done anything that I thought would use mist, so I'm not sure how that happened. Maybe somebody can tell me in the comments. Either way, we went a little over, so I'm calling it a video, and when we come back, we will continue exploring town. Probably next video will consist mostly of shopping, but it's not a huge town, so we'll probably get to some plot as well. I'm MysteriousJG. Oh, and we'll certainly talk to the person who has a mark for us to fight. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, I said. Come on, video end.